They thought they were heading home, but something followed them back. Welcome to the horrifying tale of Flight 401, a flight destined to haunt the skies forever. Eastern Airlines Flight 401. It was December 29, 1972, when passengers boarded what was supposed to be an ordinary flight from New York to Miami. The night sky was clear, the passengers relaxed. Little did they know that the events of that evening would go down in history as one of the most terrifying tales ever told in aviation. Captain Robert Loft and his crew were experienced, flying what was then a state-of-the-art aircraft, a Lockheed L-1011 TriStar. Everything seemed routine, until it wasn't. You see, as the plane approached Miami, a simple malfunction sent the crew into a spiral. A small light on the landing gear panel, indicating whether the landing gear had properly deployed, failed to illuminate. But that wasn't the problem. No, the real issue was that while the crew focused entirely on fixing this minor issue, no one realized the autopilot had been accidentally disengaged. The plane was slowly losing altitude hundreds of feet per minute and no one noticed. That is, until it was too late. Flight 401 crashed into the Florida Everglades at 11:40 p.m. Of the 176 people on board, 101 were killed instantly, including Captain Loft. The swampy waters swallowed the aircraft, leaving a chaotic scene of debris, mud, and fire. But the horror doesn't end there. The survivors who made it out alive would forever carry the trauma of that night. But that's not where this story takes its darkest turn. Months later, rumors began circulating among Eastern Airlines crews. Whispers of ghostly figures seen on board other L-1011 jets. Flight attendants and passengers alike reported sightings of a man in a pilot's uniform sitting silently in the cabin. His face was familiar, too familiar. Many described him as Captain Loft himself. But how could that be? The captain had perished in the crash. Others claimed they'd seen another spirit, Don Repo, the flight engineer from Flight 401, wandering the aisles, checking equipment. It wasn't just a single sighting. This happened on multiple flights. At first, the airline tried to dismiss these claims. Surely, it was just trauma, maybe tricks of the mind after the horrific crash. But then, there were the logs. Written reports from crew members describing their encounters with these figures. It became too widespread to ignore. Flight attendants described a sense of dread whenever they saw these figures, as if a heavy, oppressive air had settled over them. Passengers would ask, "Who's that man in the cockpit?" Only for the crew to realize there was no one scheduled there. One of the most chilling reports came from a flight attendant who had seen Don Repo's apparition in the galley. He reportedly told her, "There will never be another crash. We will not let it happen." Moments later, the plane experienced severe mechanical issues, but thanks to Repo's warning, disaster was averted. One of the most chilling reports came from a flight attendant who had seen Don Repo's apparition in the galley. He reportedly told her, "There will never be another crash. We will not let it happen." Moments later, the plane experienced severe mechanical issues, but thanks to Repo's warning, disaster was averted. Had these spirits returned to protect others from suffering the same fate? Or were they trapped, endlessly reliving their last moments? Over time, the hauntings became too much. In a desperate move to calm the crews, Eastern Airlines removed parts salvaged from Flight 401 that had been installed in other planes. And with that, the ghostly sightings stopped. But the mystery remained, were these just ghost stories born out of trauma? Or had the spirits of Captain Loft and Don Repo truly returned to the skies? Flight 401 serves as a reminder, a tragedy that scarred the skies, and a haunting that left its mark on history. Was it mere coincidence, or do these spirits still roam the cabins of planes to this day? The next time you board a flight, take a moment to glance around. Who knows? Maybe you'll see a familiar face sitting beside you, silently watching over the flight. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more spine-chilling tales from the beyond. Until next time, stay safe, and keep your eyes open.